everybody, Dr. Nelson here. This is an interactive video lesson about the constant of proportionality, but these problems involve fractions. All right. So what's going to happen is you're going to follow along with me and take notes on this first page. Then you have a chance to pause the video and try some problems on your own, and then at the end you can see how you did. All right. So here we have a table, and notice on the left-hand column we have the x values, and on the right-hand column we have the y values, and we know that there's a proportional relationship between x and y. All right. So notice the first set of values, we know that when x is 3/5, y is 3/10, right? So remember, the way you get the constant proportionality, or the k value, is you take the y value and you divide it by the x value, right? So again, to get the k value, you take the y value and you divide it by the x value. So here I know y value is 3/10, so it's going to be 3/10. And I'm going to divide that y value by the x value, which is 3/5. And to divide fractions, I need to keep change reciprocal. So that's not going to be 3/10 times 5/3. And I know I can cross reduce. The 3's will cancel out, turn into 1's. And the 5 and the 10, I can reduce down to 1 and 2. So now when I multiply this, it's going to end up with 1/2. So we have a k value of 1/2. So now we're going to use that k value to solve for this unknown y right here. All right. So trying to figure out is what is this k value? Excuse me. What is this y value with a k value of 1/2 when the x value is 4.5? So what we have to do is to go from x to y, we need to multiply, right? So again, when you go from the x value and solving for the y value, we need to multiply by the k value. So I'm going to do 4 1/2 times 1/2. So to get the y value, it's going to be 4 1/2 times 1/2. And when I make this improper, that's going to be 9/2 times 1/2. And 9 times 1 is 9. And 2 times 2 is 4. And I know 4 goes into 9 2 times with 1 left over. So it's going to be 2 and 1/4. So this question mark, the y value, has a value of 2 and 1/4. All right. Now the last part is we're going to, again, use this k value to now solve for the unknown x. And this time we know that the y value is 5 1/3. So remember, when you know the y value and you're trying to solve for x, we need to now divide by the k value. Okay? So we need to do 5 1/3. And we're going to divide by 1/2. So I need to make 5 1/3 improper. So that's going to be 16/3. So 16/3 divided by 1/2. And now I need to keep change reciprocal. So that's going to be 16/3 times 2/1. And when I multiply 16/3 times 2/1, I get 32/3. And I know that 3 can go into 32 10 times with 2 left over. So it's going to be 10 and 2/3. So that's going to be the value of this x, 10 and 2/3. All right, so the important thing about this, 3 things. Number 1, to get the k value, you do the y value divided by the x value, okay? And then when you're trying to solve for the y value, you multiply the x value by the k value. And when you're trying to solve for the x value, you divide the y value by the k value. All right. So I want you to pause the video and try the your turn now problems. And when you're done, hit play and you can see how you did. All right, good luck. All right, welcome back. Let's say I do these practice problems. So part number one, again, you had to figure out the constant of proportionality, right? So again, you want to do the y value divided by the x value. So when I did 2 divided by 3 1/3, I got a k value of 3/5. And here's how I got it. All right, now notice I kind of color coordinated this. So remember, to go from the x to the y, we multiply. So I took this x value, 7/8, and multiplied by the k value. And 7/8 times 3/5 is 21/40. So that'd be the value of this y value. And then finally, to get the x value, I took the y value, and again, I divided it by the k value, right? So when I did 2.5 divided by 3/5, after I converted 2.5 to an improper fraction, and then I keep change reciprocal with it, right? I got 25/6, which is 4 1/6. So let me actually write this in. So what we're saying is this is now going to be 4 1/6. And this y value was 21/40. All right, now one last big point I want you to understand. So remember, this table shows a proportional relationship. So what that means is when I do y divided by x, when I do 2 divided by 3 1/3, when I do 21/40 divided by 7/8, if I do 2.5 divided by 4 1/6, I should get the same thing. In fact, for all these, we get 3/5. And that's how we know that it's a proportional relationship. All right. Have a good day.